Okay. Excuse me. Welcome. Sunday Night Crypto, December 27th, 2020. This is the first part of. I guess I'm going to do this every week now. I'm going to cover a little bit of markets, going to cover mostly cryptocurrency. So, basically, what we're looking at here is the run up from March. And as you can see, it's doing very well. So, let's take a zoom in and let's see what's going on here. Uh, Been a little bit of consolidation lately. All right. You can see these levels 22K. I put this in here at 27. Not exactly sure where the resistance is. It was holding 26. We'll find out. It seems to be holding this trend line here. Okay. I've got the 200-day moving average, 50-day moving average, 21-day moving average, and the 9-day, which, no. See, I don't know if I'm using the 9-day properly. So sometimes I hide it, some days I look at it. I've tried a bunch of them. Not sure what works the best. Anyways, this is Bitcoin. This is the main one. Another one that I hold is XRP. I don't have any graph on this one because, well, to be honest with you, I did take some off the top in here, and I'm just holding my position here. This was the result of some news. We'll get into that later, as you can see on the tabs in front of me. DXY seems to be holding its downtrend for the last I don't know, since September of 2019. Seems to be holding right here. Though, as we saw here in the crash during March, investors fled to the dollar. The reason I bring this up, there's a lot of stuff going on in politics, in crypto regulation, and what we saw in the past was Bitcoin taking a dive with the markets, going inverse to the dollar. And that makes sense because it's not, globally regulated. That'll be a topic that we bring up eventually. We're going to look at, going into the markets ahead. The reason I say that, I'm not sure if Bitcoin will go the way of the S&P and the other indexes this time around. It's not a guarantee. However, I am of the theory that they will track. So, I'd spoken about in previous videos. So if you're new here, if you're familiar with computer algorithms and how computer coding works, the market makers are fudging around with this area between 330 and 333. It's going to be like a Bermuda Triangle, and it's just going to sell off. Now, I erroneously have been waiting for it to sell off this entire time. However, I see that they might just be moving some of these very significant support levels, like the 200-day moving average, above this glitch level, so that when markets do sell off, when the political hammer does drop, it's going to have nothing stopping it. And when I say nothing, I mean, how low can it go? Okay? How low can these indexes go? uh, I mean, I've been burned holding options, holding put options, thinking they were going to pay off in December. Um, but I hold things like, let's see if I got them down here somewhere. Somewhere. Okay, I do hold some inverse ETFs like SH, DOG, PSQ, TWM, UVXY. The reason I bring this up, oh, well, let me pull it up on Twitter. There's a news clip. Give me 1 minute. If I didn't, I probably deleted it. No, it's somewhere. Hold on. Here we go. Let me turn my mic off.
Not the final result, but I can report to you that we're well beyond the point that would change the election. Remember, only 10,000 in Wisconsin. So starting after Christmas, this is really going to blow up. Because the evidence that all these crooked television networks, newspapers, big tech, and the leadership of the Democratic Party all have been giving you is false. And you're going to find it out all at once. It's going to be very shocking to the country.
So that was a clip from Mr. Giuliani. I didn't take the time to look through his entire... Anyways, just a disclaimer, I'm totally nonpartisan. I think the D's and the R's can go F themselves. All of them. They should get in one place all together and do it at the same time and all catch COVID. That includes the people who vote for them. I'm just saying, this whole theater, this whole charade is about to lay down a hammer, and I don't know how investors are going to react to the market. January 6th is the date for the 12th Amendment, the dueling electors clause. That's when Mike Pence decides whether or not he will accept the Electoral College's votes. And then they do a revote. So I don't know what that's going to do to market and market uncertainty. That is the 100%, how you could say, disclaimer for the markets can go any way. I'm not just one of those people, hey, the market can go up, the market can go down, the market can go sideways. But you heard Rudy Giuliani say it's all going to happen at once. So that little bit was my just standard markets recap, introduction to my series. Let's get on to cryptocurrency. Bitcoin doing very well. As of right now, 26,500. It got up to, I think it was close to 28, 29. Now, these are the leading coins at the moment. Coin market cap, very simple. And there's a lot of regulation. There's a lot of potential hammers in the future. So at the end of this, I'll talk about some of the coins that I own, but I am going to say that as far as the altcoins go, I have not been keeping up with them for the past year or so. I've been keeping them in my periphery, but I haven't been focusing on altcoins. And I'll tell you why. I'll move this up here. So actually, I need to go through this first. Sorry. One of the introductions to legislation was the Stable Act, and I have the text from Congress here, but I'm going to pull up this. I do have some criticisms here. This person, whoever she is, says preventing cryptocurrency providers from repeating the crimes against low, moderate income residents of color traditional big banks have is critically important. That's why I'm proud to introduce the Stable Act with whoever and whoever. So, long story short, Congress, the people who, I think one thing that everybody, not only on both sides of the party lines in America, but everybody around the world can agree is that government officials are the ones too stupid to make their own decisions. Because here they're saying that hold on. I gotta bring this up. Okay. But rather, they need to protect them from most of the stable coins they are likely to encounter in the wild. Basically saying that low and medium income households are too stupid to make their own decisions, and Congress has to make them for us. So I just want to say this Stable Act is 100% them putting their hands in the proverbial cookie jar and smacking our hands when we try and put ours in the cookie jar. That's what it's about. But some of the questions regarding the Stable Act, and I'll get into the actual legislation, some of the questions regarding the Stable Act is whether or not it's going to affect Ethereum and its ability to run nodes. And basically what they're saying is no, it should not, technically, saying that they already ruled on this. No, they say that it's protected by what is it? Let me find it. Section 230. Say it's similar to it. Where if somebody were to post something illegal on YouTube, YouTube cannot be legally held responsible as long as YouTube doesn't keep it up. Something along those lines. Basically surrounding this right here. Because we all know that cryptocurrency is the wild, wild west. And that's what people are thinking, that it might affect Ethereum. But we all know that the world leaders love this. So we know that that's not what it's about. Anyways, let's get into the text. I'm going to skip section 1. It just kind of clarifies some of the ambiguities. But regulation of stable coins is where section 3 begins, and you can look this up. It is not called the Stable Act. It is HR 8827. The Stable Act is something completely different. But this is what it is. It amends the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Act, to provide clarifications regarding stable coins. At the end of it, there's also amendments to the, the Emergency Banking Act of 1933. So basically, they clarify what stablecoins are. Stablecoin means any cryptocurrency or other privately issued digital financial instrument that is directly or indirectly distributed, that is denominated in U.S. dollars or pegged in the U.S. dollar, or to another national or state currency. So the United States also wants to make sure that we're not dealing in other countries' stable coins. So if other countries created stable coins, you could enter a, how you would say, unofficial forex market through cryptocurrency. That's what they're preventing. And also, wait, where is it? Obtain nominal redemption stable. Let me look. These are clarifications. Hold on. These are clarifications of what a stable coin is. Here we go. E-money, money transmitter balances, other stable coins. Here's the important part. Or other financial instrument issued for the purpose of circulating as money, making payments, satisfying debts denominated in U.S. dollars or any other national state currency. So in case you don't know where I'm going with it, or where they're going with it, they're talking about gold. They're talking about silver. They're talking about anything that can be used as a form of payment. And eventually, because the Stable Act is laying out the groundwork for the regulations surrounding having cryptocurrency pegged by diamonds, oil, food, all the commodities are eventually going to be pegged to a cryptocurrency. It's inevitable. So, what they're here, excuse me, I ate dinner before this. Here is where they are weaving their web, so to speak. Limitation on who may issue stablecoins. This is important. It shall be unlawful for any person to issue a stablecoin other than an insured depository institution that is a member of the Federal Reserve System. Limitation on stablecoin related commercial activities. So now they're going to go after companies that work in stablecoins. They're saying that anybody issuing a stablecoin needs approval from a federal banking agency at least 6 months prior to the date of issuance. They need written approval. And it says, or stablecoin related product, providing any stablecoin related services or otherwise engaging in any stablecoin related commercial activity, including activity involving stablecoins issued by other persons. Now, this is very overarching, but I think I know what they mean. DeFi banking is going to be gone. They are going to strike it down. They are going to strike the I don't know if they're going to hit Uniswap, but they are going after everything, because basically what they're saying is they can go after Uniswap because it's a website that hosts a service for exchange of stablecoins. I think they're going to use this to go after decentralized exchanges as well. Be very careful. The hammer will drop one day and they are going to lock down everything. We'll get into... Did I go after... Okay. You'll see what I get into in a second. Let's see. I mean, it's going to be... Oh, they're going to insure it. This is the good news that I have for it. They're going to... everything's going to be regulated and insured. So, the good news is that Bitcoin's coming soon. So, let's go back to the charts, right? A lot of investors want to see that triple-digit, six-digit Bitcoin. They want to see... Well, look, it broke this upward trend. Hold on. If we zoom out far enough. It broke this upward trend. And that was our hope at getting to 50K by the end of the year. Here, at this trend, it's just not going to happen. The hammer's going to drop. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up in here before the hammer drops. I wouldn't be surprised. No speculation. I took profits here. I took a little bit of profits here. I should have took more. I'll wait for it to get here, and then I'll take a lot of profits. And I'll talk at the end. I'll tell you about a little bit about what I'm holding and my strategies behind that. So that, for the most part, is all the text here. Here they're talking about products and services related to Bitcoins. Now, I am an Ethereum holder. I have 35 Ethereum. I plan on running a node. I haven't done so yet. I'm just waiting for all this stuff to clear. So people are wondering whether or not Ethereum is going to be hit by it. I don't think so. I think I already covered that. Ethereum is just a service. They plan to add amendments to the Banking Act of 1933. I forget. I was reading it earlier, and I forget what the correlation I had of it was, but that's besides the fact. So, what I parallel this to is Wildcat Banking. This was a time where anybody could open a bank for the most part. It was like going out and getting an LLC, and they could open a bank one day, and the next week the bank, the doors will just be I don't know if they had plywood back then, but the doors would be boarded shut, and there would be an out of business sign, and anybody who had their Anybody who had their coins in the bank, they were SOL, because the banknotes would be worth nothing. It was like a business. It was like Chuck E. Cheese coins, basically. So, um, that's the parallel to this wildcat banking era, is the altcoin madness. And I personally was thinking that after regulation there would be altcoin madness, but now after going through and reading all this text, they're going to lay the hammer down big time, and it's going to be all at once, and I think it's going to coincide with the political hammer. I don't know. Okay, maybe I just don't know. It's going to be crazy. So the reason I say that, this is the hammer. Okay, I mean, the Stable Act will be bad for business. This is the hammer right here. Basically, in short, Steve Mnuchin wants, the Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, wants to introduce legislation that will require self-hosted crypto wallets, such as, the Bitcoin Core that people run, or Exodus that people run. What they want is, in order for some place like Coinbase, to send its coins to the user's wallet, they want KYC. That is going to be the hammer. Now, here they say it's going after DeFi. I think they're going to go after decentralized exchanges. I already told y'all that the Stable Act says DeFi is gone. Kiss DeFi goodbye. If you're in DeFi now, you still might be able to squeeze some profits out, but if they drop the hammer, everybody's going to sell and nobody's going to buy. I'm out of DeFi. The only, the only stable coin that I own is USDC. I think that's the only trusted one. I'd have to do some research. It's going to be crazy, okay? So, yeah. Basically, Coinbase and a few of these puppets were pleading with Jay Clayton to step in and do something, but lo and behold, he stepped down. And there's a new person as an acting chair. Look, I haven't looked into it all yet. I like to wait even a week for all these things to foment before I start really digesting the information, because immediately after something happens, there's 1,000 YouTube channels jumping on for clickbait, and I wait until everything calms down. So, moving on to really the big news of the past week is XRP being listed as a security, and it being the SEC filing a lawsuit against Garlinghouse and others. Now, the issue was it is alleging that it's an unregistered security. There are a few things that I do want to go over. It has to do with Coinbase seeking SEC approval to take its shares public and have an IPO. And that's why we're going to talk about Coinbase potentially delisting XRP. It could happen. Let's see. Trying to see if they go over, if this was just them talking about delisting on Coinbase. Because Coinbase has already confidentially filed its S1 form. So they're just waiting approval, which I think is going to happen. And I think that's going to be an IPO that I take part in, depending on the timing of it all, right? I already discussed that in the beginning. because there is, okay, not this article. So Chris Larsen and Garlinghouse will be named defendants alongside the firm of Ripple. So for you, those of you that don't know, XRP and Ripple are two separate things. Ripple is the company that has the contracts with all the banks around the world, and the way it works is Ripple's intentions are to replace SWIFT. So if you look at the SWIFT banking system, they're going to replace SWIFT, but they're also going to expand SWIFT to nearly every central bank around the world. And the way it works is when one of these central banks have a demand for money, when they have when they want to make a wire transfer, Ripple will be the one who handles that, and they will use XRP to do the transaction. And every time XRP is transferred, some of the coins are burned. So it will create an artificial scarcity, but then they can issue their own. That being said, the price of Ripple can, and in my opinion, will increase. Now, give me a minute to go down here. So according to, this is outside counsel of these people, they say that in 2018, Ripple has already gone through the courts deciding that Ripple is a currency. Okay, this is important to what I just said a minute ago of what Ripple is designed to do, that it's already been designated a currency. Now, I'm not sure on this. I'm not 100%, but it makes 100% sense. Okay, they already paid fines for the Bank Secrecy Act, blah, 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 okay? Let's see, so the issue was that they had some coins in escrow, and they used that to make money off of it. And in this article, you could see an SEC spokesperson did not, blah, 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 right? Say that the SEC is fundamentally wrong, blah, 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 blah. Okay? More legal jargon. You can look into it yourself. I don't know. Like, basically what I'm telling you is I am not a legal wizard or a witch. And I don't know how they're going to rule. But I can tell you this, that they are okay. Ripple is being represented by two former Security and Exchange Commission officials, including Mary Jo White. I don't know who she is, but look, they'll be okay. Trust me. I'm going to bring this picture in. That's Garlinghouse, Chief Executive of Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Chairman of Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, Director of the of the IMF, and Christine Lagarde. I don't know who the other individuals are, but it's like, come on, they're going to let the CEO who's illegally selling Ripple as a security up there with that group. Come on, what else do I need to show you? Yeah, Ripple's not going anywhere. It is, I'm 99% sure. I hold Ripple. I'm going to continue to hold Ripple. I wish that I had sold more of my bag and then rebought in today. But even then, I do have some USDC sitting on the side. I'm still not buying in today. I think Ripple can go lower. Anything can go lower when they drop all these regulatory hammers. So, that's basically it. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that a lot of the retailers, they left XRP and they went into crypto. Here's a little tinfoil for you guys. That means just like conspiracy theory talk. When these exchanges, which have already announced that they're going to delist XRP, people will be able to withdraw it, but they won't be able to purchase it. They're going to delist XRP. When all of these exchanges, especially the decentralized exchanges, who could potentially be shut down by the Stable Act or by any of these KYC laws that Steve Mnuchin wants to bring forth. When they go ahead and do all this, and even if Coinbase, I don't think Coinbase will delist it. I think Coinbase is going to be the sole issuer of XRP or basically around the globe. I could be right, I could be wrong. I don't know. Basically what's going to happen is nobody's going to be able to purchase XRP when it runs up, however high it runs up. I don't know. I don't know when. I don't know how. All of the, how you would say, the drums of war are not beating yet. There's just smoke signals, and they're ambiguous. So, lastly, I want to look at some of the legislation here. So this is the press release straight from the SEC.gov. According to the SEC's complaint, Ripple, Christian Larson, and the company's co-founder, executive chairman of his board, and former CEO, and Bradley Garlinghouse, the company's current CEO, raised capital to finance the company's business. The complaint alleged that Ripple raised funds beginning in 2013 through the sale of digital assets known as XRP and unregistered securities, offering to investors in the U.S. and worldwide. Ripple also allegedly distributed billions of XRP in exchange for non-cash considerations such as labor and market-making services. According to the complaint, approximately $600 million. Blah, 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 blah. The reason I bring this up is a case that almost exactly parallels it, only not in monetary numbers. The Securities Exchange announced that it has obtained a final judgment. This is the final judgment. I couldn't find the initial press release. Proprietors of Very initial coin offering, who consented to an injunction against future violations in the anti-fraud federal securities laws, agreed to pay nearly $9.5. According to the SEC's complaint filed August 12, 2019, Veritasium Inc. and Veritasium LLC, Veritasium, and their owner, Reggie Middleton, fraudulently raised millions of dollars in virtual currency from the unregistered sales of securities called Very, based on a series of false and misleading statements to potential and actual investors, including the misrepresentation about the potential profitability and viability of Veritasium purported operations, the use of funds raised in Very ICO, and the amount of funds raised in the Very ICO. The SEC also alleged that Middleton manipulated the price and volume of Very on secondary digital asset trading platforms. Blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing they're saying here. Now, the result of it, here's Reggie Middleton. Okay, you'll see they filed fraud charges. They froze the assets. I don't know if they're going to do that with Ripple. That would be wow. If they free... We'll have... I don't want to say too much, because we have to wait to see how the lawsuit begins its initial court hearings. But if they freeze XRP, I don't know if they... I just don't know. Anyways, it would be too much assumption on my part. Anyways, November 1st, 2019, the court entered a final judgment that ordered the defendants, to pay $8 million and $8.5 million in prejudgment interest, and Mr. Middleton to pay a $1 million civil penalty. Veritasium LLC have not accepted or denied the allegations. Now, they don't say it on Bitcoin here. Essentially what happened was... as of today, listen, the SEC holds... Sorry, I'm just reading this over again. So, the SEC holds something like 98% of all the coins, of all the Veritasium tokens. They hold it. Veritasium is still being worked on by Reggie Middleton. Reggie Middleton is titled as the acting CEO of Veritasium. This is where the uh, uh, the fine print is very important. Reggie Middleton still works on it. Um, I don't know what he does for money anymore. I don't know his financial situations. He had, I know I'm 90% sure he had his son working on the team with him. I'll get into what Veritasium is. I'll go over their platform in a second. This is why there's excitement in my voice. Because the SEC still holds Veritasium. They didn't destroy it. They didn't close it down. You can still find it on an exchange. Yeah, the SEC holds Veritasium. Reggie Middleton still works on it, but he's only the acting CEO. So I'm guessing that the SEC has their agents in the office with him, or he has to report to the SEC. And I'll tell you why. Veritasium is the world's first blockchain stock market, or at the very least, commodities exchange market. This is the website. You can take a look at it. Well, I'll read this straight from Reggie Middleton's keyboard. Veritasium builds blockchain-based peer-to-peer capital markets as software on a global scale. We enable the seamless connection of parties and assets without the need for a third or authoritarian interest. Any entity with internet access can participate in these capital markets on a peer-to-peer and one-to-one basis. So, what can you trade on Veritasium? You can trade silver. You can trade gold. You can trade palladium. It's all backed. Let's see. Was this in the article that I read, or was this here? Okay. It was not. All of the purchases that are done on the Veritasium platform are backed by physical, 100% backed. So here is your it's at least the COMEX on blockchain, Veritasium. It's still tradable, it's still being worked on. It is the platform. I don't know what else to say. I'm not going to say that this is going to be the only one, but here it is. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. There's multiple uses for Veritasium. I don't know what all this is. Something is expiring. All the storage, something is expiring at the end of the year. We'll see what happens, but they have storage of gold going out to here. I don't know all the details because it got put on the sideline. They got benched. They are also a research forum, so you can exchange your Veritasium tokens or use your Veritasium tokens for a whole bunch of research. And hey, if you're into that, take a look into it and tell me what it is, because I'm not an expert in this portion of Veritasium, but as you can see, and if you're at all familiar with Reggie Middleton, he's a very, very sharp guy. So let's take a look over at where you can find Veritasium. Look, it's trading for $3.25. I purchased my Veritasium at $5 and $10, and I'm going to continue to purchase more Veritasium. In fact, I'll probably do it now. You can get it from Uniswap, or you can get it from Mercatox. The reason I'm getting it now, excuse me, well, rather, the reason, so I'm not trying to pump Veritasium. I don't think anybody that listens to my live streams has the potential to pump Veritasium. I'm telling y'all that this is my speculative currency. That if y'all get Veritasium, I don't know. I just don't know. But it's cheap now. Let's look at the chart real quick. So, as you can see, it hasn't done much. And look, I'm buying more Veritasium. I have some USDC that I pulled off the top. I'm buying it. Maybe as soon as I get off this live stream, and I'm holding it. It's a gamble, but I guess here's where I can go into some of the coins that I do own. Let's see. Let's go to the home page. Now, I do own Bitcoin, and I suggest that everybody strives to become a whole coiner. But if you are not, well, it's a term for somebody who owns one coin. But if you're not, don't worry about it. Not everybody can purchase Bitcoin. I've been doing this for a while now. I've had my fair share of gains and my fair share of losses. 2018, I slept on my couch more nights than I'd like to admit. Let's see. Ethereum, I love. I still think it's fine to invest in. I suggest people look into. I was investing in the Ethereum nodes when it was $100, so it was a lot easier for me to do at the time. But I suggest everybody looks into running a node on Ethereum, which is 32 coins. You're gonna need some extra Ethereum to pay for gas. That's the it's how you pay your fees. Basically what will happen is you'll be allowed to stake and you'll be allowed to get paid. I don't know what the payment intervals are, but it's annually. It's well, I mean, I'll get interest on the Ethereum that I stake. So it's what's called passive income. I'll be getting paid for doing nothing. US Tether. Tether is one of those stable coins that I stay away from. Let me tell you why. Okay, I'm going to bring another page out here. The reason I do it on this one is because you have to look up some questionable things. This Brock Pierce and who was it? Collins Rector allegedly were found with the largest collection of child porn on the planet. That's the record that they hold. I think the second largest collection was Bill Gates' butler. Not Bill Gates. Bill Gates' butler or something like that. Somebody on the cleaning staff that just happened to leave all of it in Bill Gates' house. The connections to Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know what to say. It brings me to more speculation around what currencies to invest in. There's something that I've been looking for that I can't quite find, and that's why I'm hoping that some of the people who watch my YouTube will help me remember this one. Roger Ver, who is the person who did Bitcoin Cash, he was at a huge meeting. It wasn't G20, it wasn't V20, it wasn't Bilderberg or the World Economic Forums or IMF or anything like that. At least I can't remember. I was doing some searches for maybe an hour or two and I couldn't figure it out. Excuse me. So, Roger Ver, Vitalik Buterin, I think it was Garlinghouse, I think Brock Pierce was there. They all went to something just like the V20 summit. And I couldn't find it. I was searching. But the V20 summit is something that parallels the G20 summit. It takes place in the same place about a week later. And it's the same thing. You can look at all the companies involved. Maybe it was 2018. I don't know. But here's the guest list. They do speakers. They have what's it called? The Virtual Something Task Force. I forget what it's called. But these are all the companies, and you can look at all the exchanges and all this and that. And one thing you'll notice is I don't remember seeing any DeFi on here. So I'm 90% sure they're getting rid of DeFi. Look, I was excited for DeFi. I took part in Salt. I don't know if y'all remember Salt trading. I bought Salt coins back in the day, and then they got sued or something like that because they were the only DeFi at the time. There was only 2 DeFi. I was thinking of taking a loan and running. It's not exactly how it works, but I was going to use arbitrage. Anyways, the reason I say that, I'm huge into passive income. I'm huge into. I'm bringing this over so I can chat. I have 2 monitors. I'm really big into coins that are going to pay me. So I own Bitcoin. I own Ethereum, though I don't touch Ethereum. I have my Ethereum. They're in a cold storage wallet, and I just leave it there. I have USDC, not TC. I have XRP for the reasons stated, and I don't think I'm going to touch it until it goes way high. Let's see. I do have Litecoin. That might be my 3rd biggest holding. Yes, income, right? That's Digital Mobile Post over there on the chat. So, I do have some Litecoin. I'm not sure. Like I said in the beginning of this, I have been rather asleep when it comes to these altcoins, and I do have Litecoin. I think that's my 3rd largest holding. I don't have any Bitcoin Cash. The reason I do want to get into Bitcoin Cash at some point later down the line, maybe after the next correction, is I'm of the conviction that there will be a huge correction. You can go back and look at all the regulations that I was talking about within the cryptocurrency world, and also the big correction that's going to happen in the stock market. So, because Roger Ver, excuse me. So Bitcoin is the storage of wealth. Without a doubt, Bitcoin is the #1 name in cryptocurrency. The fees are high, and the transaction time is slow, and that's a security measure. It's not meant to be transacted every day. It's meant to leave there and keep there. In my opinion, when all the governments collapse and they finally get their one world order, Bitcoin, BTC, will be the equivalent of government bonds. And you'll see it be implemented in intermittent stages as this happens. Ethereum is like Microsoft, Apple, Linux. XRP is going to be the cross-border remittance payments. Litecoin, transactional currency. That's the one that you'll pay for your coffee with, for your gas with. Digital Mobile Post, you say PayPal would be considered a cryptocurrency? They might be hit with the hammer under the Stable Act, now that you say that. And they will be subject to a lot of KYC laws, although I think they already are. Bitcoin Cash is another transactional currency. BNB is an exchange currency. I'm not sure what Chainlink is exactly. I think that's a transactional currency. Cardano is a programming platform, so that'll be equivalent to Ethereum. I'm not talking about price or market cap. Not sure what Polkadot is. I've been asleep lately. This is the stable coin that I use, USDC. I have some Stellar. Stellar pays once a week, something like 0.02% weekly. This could be a transactional currency, or it could be something that parallels Ripple. It is a fork of it. Bitcoin SV I don't have. Just going through. So EOS is the one tied to Brock Pierce and Collins Rector. EOS is a coin that provides passive income. However, I don't know if I'm going to get involved in that. But then again, if you understand that all the parties are involved in that pedophilia stuff, all the parties, all the presidents, including the one we have now, they're all involved in the pedophilia stuff. They all take part in it. They all know about it. You know, why didn't I'm trying not to get political, but why, of all the people, why didn't Donald Trump pardon the kid who's sitting in jail for life? The kid who created the Silk Road markets. He didn't do any crimes. That's like arresting the person who invented VHS because somebody put child porn on VHS. The ETF transaction cards, what's that? Charge $14 a month and $1 per. Clarify that, Digital Mobile. NEM is a staking coin. Tron is a staking coin. Tron purchased the source code and all the stuff to BitTorrent. I'm 99% sure that Tron runs BitTorrent now. Tezos is a staking coin. I'm big into staking coins. DAI, this one's going to say, I think we're going to say bye-bye to that as DeFi gets kicked off. Neo, that's one, I like Neo. People say Neo is dead, but actually one of the things Neo is doing is their programming language is going to be universal. It's going to be, they're going to be able to translate it to all the languages around the world. So look out for Neo. It produces gas. You can collect it every 5 minutes. Dash is too far away for me to get a crypto node. Listen, I think I'm going to shut it down. I've been going for an hour. Sometimes but that being said, it's a good introductory series here for some of the coins that I hold. Oh, electronic transaction funds. Yeah, see, under the stable fund, they're saying they're trying to protect the unbanked. That's what they're saying. But we all know it's BS. Just like the banks were protecting, certain groups of individuals from buying houses that were outside of their neighborhood. If you catch my drift, that's what the banks used to do. So, I don't know. Sit around. My next week, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look at the top 50 altcoins. What I'm doing over the next week, I'm really going. I'm really gonna go into all the altcoins and see what there is, and I will do a little bit of market analysis here. As you can see, this is my market setup. These are some of the things that I watch throughout the day. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for stopping by and listening. And if somebody could figure out the meeting that Roger Ver, Vitalik. Okay, yeah, exactly. They, it's just, it's, no, if somebody could figure out that Roger Ver, the meeting that he went to, I'm going to do some more research, but I remember seeing a list. Roger Ver was on it. Other people were on it. They were going to something like the IMF. I can't remember. So, yeah. I wanted to wait until futures opened. Did they? I thought it was. Oh. Let's take a look at futures real quick. Oops. Well, not too bad. Markets are hanging in there. Let's take a look, see if anything's changed. Oh, look at that. Recovering already. So, as on Monday, here's my prediction going forward. On Monday, when businesses start opening their doors, I think they're going to really consider getting into cryptocurrency, and I think we're going to see another leg up. I think that I was just a little premature in drawing this trend line here, and I think we're just going to resume this trend line. It had no trouble breaking through 25,000 and had no trouble breaking through 27 or 26. If you look, it ran straight through. So I think this week's going to be very exciting. But, and I'll play it one more time if I still have it up. I'll play it one more time just to remind you. And this is the one, but I didn't feel like destroying brain cells by listening to the whole one. We're going to listen to it one more time. I'll remind you of the 12th Amendment, January 6th. That's 10 days away. And then I'll sign out.
Not the final result, but I can report to you that we're well beyond the point that would change the election. Remember, only 10,000 in Wisconsin. So starting after Christmas, this is really going to blow up. Because the evidence that all these crooked television networks, newspapers, big tech, and the leadership of the Democratic Party have been giving you is false. And you're going to find it out all at once. It's going to be very shocking to the country.
Oh, I guess I do have something to say. I don't care who rigged what election. They're all rigged. It's not an election. It's a selection. And guess what? If a person gets selected to walk into the White House, they had to do a little something with somebody who was under the age of, I'm not even going to say 18, I'm going to say 16. So that's what I think about our current president. And until we, the people, get blockchain voting, you people who are for whatever reason, I don't want cryptocurrency. Well, you know what? You're never going to get an election. And if you don't believe in the power of voting, then you're a communist or you're a feudalist. That's how I'm going to end my stream. Okay, wait. We'll buy into a crypto fund. Oh, Digital Mobile Post. Watch my whole video, and then I pretty much explained it all. But yeah, look, we're never going to get a fair election, a transparent election, until it's blocked by blockchain. They've all been rigged. I did you could go back through my videos and go watch the video. Every selection is rigged. They're all rigged. They all derive from the same Hegelian communist. Yeah, it's all rigged. Look what happened to Ross Perot when he criticized NAFTA. He's famous for if you just go on YouTube and you type in Ross Perot, giant sucking sound, he's absolutely famous for it. You know what'll happen if blah, 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 there'll be a giant sucking sound coming out of America. And then eventually what happened, somebody from a intelligence agency handed him a paper that gave him the past and the future whereabouts of his family members, saying we know everything about where your family's going to be. It's a threat, not in plain English, but it was a threat, and then he stepped down. Look at what happened to Ron Paul when he ran. He got zero media coverage. Fox News wouldn't say a damn thing about him. I don't want to make this about politics. Listen, Digital Mobile Post, I don't know if you're a subscriber, but go ahead and subscribe. I do have some things that I'm going to work on, and I'll probably do another live stream. Yeah, go check out Mr. Mission Control. I wasn't sure if you were here because it's unlike you to keep your mouth shut for an hour. I love you, though. Mr. Mission Control, go check him out at DWatchDogs on Twitter. Check out his channel. He streams damn near every day. I don't get to all of his live streams, and I don't get to watch all of them, but I try and check in. But yeah, go check out Mr. Mission Control. Check out some of the videos I do in my past. I'll try and do 1 or 2 videos during the week. And listen, stay tuned. I'm going to do Sunday night crypto every day, and I'll feature some of the stock market in there. I'm not an expert on the stock market, to be honest with you. I know a few things, but I'm really good at losing money. Okay? That's what I'm really good at. And I like gambling, so it really cures my urges. Yeah, look, I crossed an hour. I'm going to sign out. I'm going to say thank you. Um, I'm going to say thank you to everybody. And I think somebody just signed in. Go back and watch everything. Thank you. I'll be doing this once a week. I'll do my crypto update. I don't think every show is going to be an hour long. This was the first one. I had to cover a lot of stuff. Yeah. So, listen. Digital mobile post. Go through. I went through and I read the actual legislation of the Stable Act. I think this is big one. Also, Mnuchin has some type of KYC thing in the offing. And previous to that was something else. I forget. Anyways, just yeah. Well, digital mobile post. Get back into the stock market. Go look up trading fraternity on the stock market and put some money back in that stock market. We'll make you some money. I'm out.